What is going on, everybody? It's Cameron. Welcome back to The Amazing Spider-Man, and today we're going to be reviewing issue 10 of this series. Now, in the previous issue, I did say that I wasn't too happy with where the Spider-Man character was going. Like, I was a little bit concerned for him because he was going to space and all of this crazy stuff, and it was just like, what is going on? But I have to say that this issue is so much better, as we see Spider-Man kind of having to go back to his roots a little bit, you know, not having any of this crazy web shooter stuff, just relying on his spider skills and his spider sense, etc., and it's awesome to see. So anyway, I actually really like this issue, and I want to get into this review as fast as possible, so guys, without further ado, let's get into it. So of course, like always, the issue picks up directly from where the previous issue left off, and right off the bat, you can see Spider-Man's humour still pouring out of his mouth. It is so awesome to have Spider-Man keeping this humour going throughout this series. And I honestly have to say, I actually found the Zodiac character a lot more interesting in this issue than the previous issues, especially towards the end of this issue, but I'm not going to get into that until we get to the end of the issue. But what I liked about the Zodiac character as of what we're seeing on screen is that he kind of plays off Spider-Man's weaknesses, not through Spider-Man himself, but through the people that Spider-Man has to protect, and that is just awesome because usually villains don't really go for that, so it was interesting to see that being worked upon Spider-Man like that. And as I said at the beginning of this video, it was so good to see Spider-Man just kind of acting on his spider powers, you know, his spider sense, his spider strength, his speed, instead of relying on these crazy web shooter concrete cartridges and all that crazy stuff. Because really, Spider-Man doesn't need that, it just kind of helps ease him with his superheroing, so it was nice to see everything not being so easy for him all of a sudden. And it just goes to show that Spider-Man is actually still there as a character. And what I mean by that is that he still has the same morals, like he'll actually risk himself to jump and push these people out the way. And I absolutely loved it how he was kind of just like, well, at least Japanese cars are smaller than American ones. That gave me a good laugh. Something that's actually going through my mind though is that Zodiac's partners and that told him that if he stands there and kills Spider-Man, then he will miss his opportunity to get the train. But really, it was them contacting Zodiac that interrupted him from killing Spider-Man. So if they didn't contact him, then he would have killed Spider-Man already. So I was a little bit like, technically it's them contacting him that kind of delayed him and would have caused it. I don't know, and maybe I'm just thinking about it too much, but you get what I mean. I also love the interaction between Peter and Anna Maria because we haven't seen that in a while, especially because now we know that she's got like this science romance going on with like one of her science colleagues or something like that, and it's nice to see that her and Peter still have like that connection with each other, you know, like where you feel like they've known each other for a while, so it's awesome to just see them in the comic panels together. Not to mention the twist with Dr. Octopus being in that robot sat behind them, and I was actually surprised that Dr. Octopus was helping Spider-Man because when he said that Peter wasn't injured and he actually had the perfect body, I was like, is he just lying to him and he's actually like really injured or something? But it seems not. I just can't wait for Dr. Octopus to return completely. I mean, he's been in that robot body forever. Imagine if he ends up in Regent's body or something like that, like Dr. Octopus takes over Regent's body. That would be crazy. Actually, what do you guys think Dr. Octopus will do? Like, how do you think he will come back? Let me know in the comments below about that, because I suppose we could discuss it and like theorize and stuff like that. That'd be pretty awesome. But anyway, moving on with what's happening in the comic, once again Zodiac has used his weakness against him by shooting Anna Maria and Dr. Octopus Roboty out of the sky in their flying car. And I kind of felt like that was expected. Like honestly, how did Spider-Man not see that coming? I do have to say though, I love the urgency of how Spider-Man went to save Anna Maria instantly, even shouting the robot to shield her, and obviously Dr. Octopus is in that robot and Anna Maria is Dr. Octopus's love of his life, so he definitely would have saved her. And I kind of feel like Dr. Octopus would have probably respected Spider-Man for that, you know, like kind of the urgency of trying to save her, or hopefully he did anyway. Now we also can't forget that a few issues ago we saw Dr. Curt Connors get recruited by this mystery man, and Dr. Curt Connors, aka the Lizard, is pretty much being forced against his will to work with this person, otherwise his family dies, or something along those lines. Now, as to what this man is doing with Rhino, Lizard, and Electro is beyond us, like we have no idea what's going on, but maybe he's re-rounding up the Sinister Six or something, I'm not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'm thinking it's not going to be good. Now, going back over to Spider-Man, Anna Maria, and the robot, we see Spider-Man realize what's going on, and he actually punches through the door of Mr. Jacobs' apartment, obviously realizing that Mr. Jacobs is the Zodiac. And I remember reading this comic and thinking that Spider-Man's strength was just shown so well in that sequence because he literally just punched straight through the wall and it was so awesome. And I think what makes this comic interesting and makes the Zodiac as a character even more interesting is the fact that all the cards are on the table, everything is being revealed, and it's just so refreshing that Spider-Man has finally figured it out, and especially now that Spider-Man knows that the Zodiac is this Mr. Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs has the biggest share in the Parker Industries company, so it's almost like Parker Industries has been paying paying for all of the bad stuff that the Zodiac has been doing, and that is like crazy to think of. And coming up to the final page of this comic, it's revealed that the Zodiac can take down everything Peter Parker has worked for, his fame, his money, his company. And honestly, I just love how this comic ends. It ends on like a phenomenal ending with Spider-Man once again going back to his roots, and he literally says that he will risk it all to take down the Zodiac. So this means that after this series, he could lose Parker Industries, he could lose his wealth, he could lose his money, he could lose his respect. I love it when like the gloves are off, like all bets are on, the gloves are off, and it's everything or nothing, and that is just so awesome to end this comic on. So guys, that is where this issue ends. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below, because I want to discuss a few things with you about this. Like, what did you think of the Zodiac character in this comic? Because I know quite a lot of you guys actually agreed with me with what I said in the previous issue about the Zodiac not being a very interesting character and not caring about him, etc. But I actually thought that he was pretty good in this issue. So I'd like to know what you guys think of him now, and of course of Spider-Man, and just all bets are off, gloves are off, everything or nothing. Let me know what you thought. I'm going to be giving this issue a 9 out of 10. The pacing was on point, the art was on point, the inclusion of Anna Maria and the robot jumping in the flying spider car or whatever it is and joining Spider-Man on this adventure was interesting and refreshing. And as I've already said a million times, Spider-Man going back to his roots, not relying on technology but relying on his instincts and his speed and his intelligence, etc., brought me closer to Spider-Man as a character once again, really being able to relate to him, and that's what I like to see. Now guys, that is the end of this video, but of course don't forget to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date on all the videos that are going up. You can hear about when I'm reviewing Civil War 2, when I'm reviewing the other comics, Spidey, Spider-Man 2099, all new all different Avengers, etc. And of course we can't forget about Invincible Iron Man. And also don't forget to follow me on my Facebook page to stay up to date on all the latest in comic book news and updates. And last but not least guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video for more, and I'll see you all next time.